Hi, I'm Casey Bell, the author of 4SCORE, and here I am reading the conclusion of Chapter 3. Hey, Eddie. Long time no see. How are you? I'm doing well. Congratulations on your new CD. Thank you. So what have you been doing this with yourself? Nothing much. I took a much-needed break. I hear you. I also have been visiting Chris. Oh, how is he doing? He's doing well. He's doing much better. The doorbell rings. Edward happily opens the door. Hey, Steve, how are you? Orlando replies. Steve, hey, what are you doing here? Hey, Orlando, it's so good to see you. They embrace. Steve continues. Hey, Eddie, you didn't tell me Orlando would be here. And he didn't tell me you would be here either. Edward replies. I thought I'd keep it a surprise. Is anyone else coming? Asks Orlando. Edward answers. Anyone else like whom? Anyone from 4SCORE. Well, if you must know, I invited everyone. Everyone like whom? Asks Steve. The doorbell rings again. Edward says, Orlando, why don't you open the door and see who it is? Orlando walks towards the door and opens it. Chris! Orlando, what are you doing here? Where's Eddie? I'm over here. Oh my gosh, I wasn't aware Orlando would be here. He notices Steve. Hey, how are you? I'm doing well. How are you feeling? I'm feeling much better. Well, how do you like this? Eddie invites us over and doesn't even let us know that one of us is coming. Don't you guys like surprises? Asks Edward. Are there any more? Asks Steve. The doorbell rings again. Edward goes to the door. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Eddie, how are you? I'm doing well. Go right in the living room. There are a couple of surprises. They both walk in the room. Orlando says, Hey, Solomon. Hi, Edward says, Okay. Solomon, this is Steve. And Chris, I believe you know Orlando. Yes, I do. He shakes Steve's and Chris' hand. It's nice to meet you both. Says, Same here, says Chris. Steve says, It's a pleasure to meet you two. The doorbell rings once again. Edward gets the door. Hello, Cyril. Thanks for coming. No problem. Go straight to the living room. Just about everyone is here. Who else did you invite? I wasn't aware that anyone else was coming. He walks into the living room and is surprised. Oh my gosh, look at this. Edward continues. Okay, Cyril, this is Chris, and I think you know everyone else. So is this everyone? Asks Orlando. Chris says, No, Sean is missing. Chris mocking leg continues. Where the hell is Sean? Did he get in the limo? You better watch it. I've got people watching you. They all laugh at Chris. That sounds familiar, says Cyril. The doorbell rings. They all look at Edward. Well, you know, he's always the last to arrive. Edward goes towards the door and opens it. You're late. Who are you, Lex? They embrace. Chris and Orlando walk towards the door. Sean continues. What the hell? I don't believe it. What are you two doing here? I invited them. And you didn't tell me? I didn't tell anyone. Let's go to the living room. There are some people I want you to meet. They walk to the living room. Okay, everyone, this is Sean. That's Steve, Cyril, and that's Solomon. I believe you know the rest of us. Yes, I do. So what is all of this? I missed 4SCORE. I just wanted to see everyone again, that's all. I decided to have a reunion. There's food in the kitchen, and being that Orlando and I are the only ones who knows everyone, the rest of us can get to know each other. Everyone slowly but surely started talking. I turned on some music which helped the atmosphere. We talked and soon we were down memory lane. I think my favorite song was This Love, says Cyril. Everyone agrees. Stephen continues. My favorite was The Love We Shared. I hated that song, says Chris. Orlando shares, you know what song I really hated? Orlando walks over to the piano, starts playing, and sings, Music, it's all I need to have fun. Real music, play those instruments. Chris joins in. Music, it's all I need to have fun. Real music, bring on the instruments. Orlando stops playing the piano and they all laugh. After a couple seconds, Stephen continues. I just came home from work and I feel like a pile of dirt. Orlando continues to play while Stephen sings. I'm tired. I need something to let my mind at ease. I need. Cyril and Solomon join in. Music, it's all I need to have fun. Real music, play those instruments. Music, it's all I need to have fun. Real music, bring on the instruments. Sean sings. Just stepped in the club and already being asked to dance. Those sad pickup lines just make me want to cry. I'm not here for alcohol. Chris sings, I'm not here to talk to you. Orlando sings, I'm not here to make a friend. Eddie sings, I'm not here to pick you up. I came for they all say music. It's all I need to have fun. Real music, play those instruments. Music, it's all I need to have fun. Real music, bring on the instruments. Eddie, I don't need your number. Chris, I don't need any friends. Sean, don't have to cover a charge. Don't have to cover charge. Orlando, I don't have to drink. Steven sings, when I need to party. Cyril sings, all I need is Solomon. Music, it's all I need to have fun. Everyone sings, real music, play those instruments. Music, it's all I need to have fun. Real music, bring on the instruments. After they finish singing, they laugh with each other. That was a super song, says Chris. Gerald says, Lex always gave us the most sappy and corny songs. We should have written our own, says Solomon. Lex never allowed us to write our own songs, says Orlando. Sean says, he never allowed us to do anything. Edward says, the one thing I learned about being in 4SCORE was how to make yourself have fun in a hotel room. I learned that no matter what I did, there was someone watching me, says Chris. I learned the most valuable lesson, says Sean, that no matter what, I am not, they all say, irreplaceable. They all laugh, then Edward continues. I still can't believe that I stayed with 4SCORE for 6 years. Chris says, the 7th year he rested. They laugh at the comment, and then Solomon continues. Did you hear about Lex? What, is he dead? Asked Sean. No, replies Solomon. He's starting another band, an all-girl band. That's funny. They'll regret it, says Orlando. What's their band name? Asks Cyril. Solomon answers, Sweet Honey. That's pretty cool, says Edward. Chris says, have you guys ever thought of a reunion tour? Who would be in it? All of us or just 4? Asks Orlando. All of us, I guess. We won't be able to do that, says Sean. Why not? Asks Cyril. Because Lex owns 4SCORE. He would sue us if we did that without his permission. Maybe we could change the name, says Edward. Besides, there's 7 of us now. So are we really going to do a reunion? Asks Stephen. We won't be able to sing any of the songs. I'm sure Lex is going to fight that, says Sean. Edward says, he doesn't own the songs, just the name. Besides, we'll write our own. We'll find a record company who will sign us, and we'll begin a new band without Lex. That sounds pretty cool, says Cyril. So what do you guys say? You want to do a reunion? Asks Chris. I guess, says Solomon. Sure, why not? Responds Orlando. I'm in, says Stephen. Do we all agree? Asks Chris. They all agree with Chris. Edward continues. So what do we call ourselves? We sat there for 30 minutes coming up with names. It wasn't until Sean asked Orlando how he came up with the name 4SCORE that it came to us. Orlando, how did you think of 4SCORE? I remember you were the one who named us. Well, I started by using our initials to make an acronym. I used every possibility. When I got to SCO, I sat there staring at it. I finally added an R to make score. It wasn't until the next day when I was listening to the movie soundtrack of Hair that I came up with 4SCORE. I was listening to Abby Baby. I love that song, says Stephen. Edward begins to sing. 4SCORE and 7 years ago, our forefathers brought forth. Chris interrupts. That's it. What's it? Responds Sean. 7 years ago. That can be our new name. There are 7 of us. We were once 4SCORE, and now we're 7 years ago. I don't know, says Sean. I think it can work, says Orlando. It makes sense. I think the fans will get it, says Cyril. I think Lex will get it too, says Solomon. They pause at the last comment, then they laugh. You know, at this point, I don't care what Lex does. I think we should do it, says Edward. Who's in to becoming 7 years ago? Edward stands and puts his hand out. Solomon stands and does the same. I'm in. Cyril and Steve stand and add their hand to the circle. 7 years ago, here I come, says Orlando. He stands and adds his hand. Chris stands and adds his hand. They all look at Sean. What do you say, Sean? Says Edward. Well, I guess so. I'm in. He stands and adds his hands. Edward says, okay, on 3, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Everyone shouts 7 years ago. After that, we found a record company that was willing to sign us. We made 1 album and had 3 hit singles that hit the charts. Lex tried to sue us, but he soon dropped the case. We, 7 years ago, became close friends and continued to contact each other. Within 3 years, we were all married. I attended everyone's wedding. Mine was last. Sean is now a successful solo artist who continues to record albums and tours. Chris is the founder and owner of the Christopher Wu Rehabilitation Center. He also wrote and published a best-selling book about his life and how he overcame addiction. Orlando is now not only a solo artist, but he also writes and composes songs for major artists in the business. Steven is still acting on stage all over the country, including Broadway. Cyril started his own pop rock band called Rockin' Cats. They do a mixture of pop, rock, and soul music. They're really good and have 2 number 1 hits. Solomon became a manager for the best-selling group Kenny and the Flowers. He also became the new manager of Sweet Honey. They banded together to fire Lex and hired Solomon. Lex, after getting fired, started a 5-member boy band, Lexus. They have 2 hits at the moment and already went through 1 band member change. I guess they found out that they are not irreplaceable. As for me, I auditioned for a Broadway show, 100 Reasons Why I Love You, and I'm still a cast member. I'm very happy to be on the stage every day. Life didn't exactly go the way I planned it, but I am just glad that it's going. During the Christmas season, I went to visit my parents in Connecticut. As for Derek and I, we haven't talked since that day. I think about him every now and then, but I have finally let him go. I realize you go through life meeting people all the time. Some are lifetime people and some are seasonal. But through it all, I have learned that no matter what happens in life, you are not irreplaceable. Updated pages of 4SCORE, updated January 2021. It has been 10 years since this book was first published. After my bandmates read this book, it inspired them to get back together. In 2012, we went on a reunion tour with Cyril's band, Rockin' Cats, as well as Sweet Honey. We stayed on the tour for about 3 years. In 2016, we recorded another album, which included some new tunes, some old songs we redid. We got 2 top 10 hits from the album and 1 top 20. We went on a mini tour for the album. Lex's new band Lexus broke up in 2013 due to Lex restrictions. They went on tour with us in 2016. No matter how old and the generations of bands Lex started, we all understood each other's frustrations and during intermissions would share Lex stories. I was saddened to know I wasn't the only one who lost a friend due to Lex. Lex started a new band, Yummy, in 2016. They disbanded in 2018. From 2017 to 2019, we pretty much went our separate ways. In 2020, the coronavirus hit the world. Lex got infected and nearly died. He made a full recovery over a 7-month period. We, 4SCORE, the original members 7 years ago, Sweet Honey, Lexus, and Rockin' Cats did a few virtual reunions and virtual concerts. Right now, we're all laying low and spending time with our families. Believe it or not, I received a call from Derek during the pandemic. He wanted to see how I was doing, and he apologized. I told him I forgave him and completely understood why he did what he did. We're not on the same terms as we once were, but we are both at peace. Although being in 4SCORE had its disadvantages, every year since the band disbanded, I have received blessings that I would not receive had I not been in the band. People always ask, would I change anything, and I say no. The experience brought me pains, but much more joy. And of course, no matter how many years pass, the one thing I will always remember is I am not irreplaceable. Hi, well, that is it for 4SCORE. That is the entire book. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, and see you next time for the next book reading.